This video will provide an overview of the updates that Google rolled out to Google Forms on June 27th, 2016. Google recently rolled out updates to Google Forms that allows teachers to create quizzes right in Google Forms, in theory, taking away the need to use Flubberoo for grading quizzes in Forms. Let's head on over to Google Forms and take a look at the new features. So here I am in a Google form. I just made a short 3-question quiz with 2 multiple choice questions and a short answer question. So when I opened up Google Forms yesterday, I noticed right over the gear there was a little message that, hey, Google will now make quizzes right in Google Forms. So let's go ahead and click the gear and look at some of these settings. When I looked at this, the first thing that I noticed that really excited me was that we can now collect email responses without automatically sending response receipts. In previous versions of Google Form, if a teacher checked collect email addresses, students would automatically have the option to have a copy of the the form and their responses sent right to them via email. Google now lets teachers turn this option off. So I can collect email addresses to ensure that the student filling out the form is the student I want filling out the form without ruining the integrity of my objective assessment by potentially having all of the questions and answers leaked out after the end of first hour. So that's the first really exciting feature, that we can collect email addresses without having to send those response receipts. So that's in the general settings, and now I'm going to scoot all the way over to this new tab called Quizzes. If you have a Google form that you want to make a quiz, you go ahead and just click this little toggle to make this a quiz. And then you have a few more options for you. You can release grades to students as soon as they submit the quiz or later after manual review. I like to click the radio button for later after manual review, so that way I can kind of release the results when I'm ready after everyone's taken the quiz. So then, down here under Respondents Can See, we have a few more options. We can let them see missed questions, the correct answer choices, and the point values. On this one, I'm going to go ahead and let them see what they missed and the point values. Then I'll go ahead and hit Save. What I need to do now is set the answer key for this quiz. So I'll go ahead and click the question, and you'll notice at the bottom of the question there's a new option that says Answer Key. I'll click Answer Key, and I'll select the correct response, so I'll hit True here, and then I'll come up to Points and assign a point value to it by clicking the up or down arrows. Another great feature here is we can add answer feedback. So I can click this box and type some feedback for both incorrect answers and correct answers. So I'll go ahead and add some feedback now. After I type in text to go with the incorrect and correct answers, you can also click this link button, and you can link to some reteaching to go along with this question, so the student can see they got the answer wrong, and then they can go learn about it and then possibly even retake the assessment. So I'm going to hit Save there. So I set an answer key for this question. I made it worth 5 points. The one thing that I don't really like about this update is that with the short answer questions, you see there's no option to add an answer key. So this is just kind of like the old version of Flubberoo, where we would have to manually grade these questions. Now that I've had one student take the quiz, let's head on over to the response section, where we can look at data from the quiz, and we can see what the student will get when we return the quiz to them. And now we have some class insights, so we can see the number of responses and the median score, the email address, and how the class did on each individual question, which is pretty cool. And then over here by scores, you see this section that says Release Scores. So I'm going to go ahead and click Release Scores, and these are all the students who have taken this quiz, and we'll say Send Email and Release, and we'll take a look at what that email is going to look like for the student. So to look at the scores from a quiz in the new Google Forms, students have 2 options. They can open the email from Forms, Quizzes, No Reply, and see their score on the assessment. Now keep in mind, this score only includes those objective questions. That third question, the fill in the blank, wasn't included on this score. Then they can go and click View, and it'll take them over to the quiz. So on this first one, we see here that they got this one wrong, and had this first question had more than 2 options, it wouldn't highlight the correct answer. Since it's a true-false, it's kind of obvious. You'll also know that the message for the incorrect response is down here below. On the second question, we see the student got it correct, and they scored a 5 out of 5. So this is really great feedback for our students, and again, they can get this feedback immediately after they submit their quiz, or at a later date after the teacher has an opportunity to review. Let's take a look at one more great feature in these new Google Forms. In the new quiz version of Google Forms. I'm going to go ahead and create a spreadsheet for these responses. And in that spreadsheet, you'll see there's now a column for student score. Keeping in mind that the score is only scoring those 2 objective questions. So as a teacher, I could go in and grade this third question, this objective one, and change that score to a 10. And while it would still give us a 10 out of 10, as a teacher I would know they got 10 out of 15 on this assessment. So this has been a brief demonstration of the new updates to Google Forms on June 27, 2016. I hope you found this useful and you're excited to go mess around with the new Google Forms.